You had talked about how Coach Morris, like Travis, you talked to him a little bit about that before the season and how they do things. Have you kept up with his team at all this year? I mean, they're playing in the state championship.
I talked to Coach Morris and other high school coaches, how they communicated their offense, and whatnot. Our scheme is our scheme. We really haven't changed our scheme a whole lot. We've changed how we communicate and adjusted. Have I kept up? They were here the other day. Had a chance to visit with them, just say hey to the staff. What they've accomplished over there is just phenomenal. The wins that they've accrued.
Coach, Shreveport might not be the most exciting town to be in, but what kinds of benefits come out of, I know recruiting has been a big thing for you all season, what kinds of benefits come from being so close to home?
Well, first of all, the bowl people over in Shreveport are going to make this game very exciting for our players. We feel honored to go over there and play this football game, particularly against the University of Georgia. So we're excited about that part of it. Well, I'm sorry, what was that part of that question?
The recruiting benefits?
Oh, the recruiting. We have a couple kids in the Shreveport area that we're currently actively recruiting. And when I took the job, I told Tim Cassidy I want to consider Louisiana as an in-state area. I mean, there's parts of Louisiana that are closer to us than parts of Texas. So I really wanted us to do a great job in Louisiana. I think we have capitalized in Louisiana. I mean, one of our freshman starters is from East St. John, Louisiana, so Patrick Lewis. So Jonathan Stewart, been a starter for us, a linebacker. And we have recruits over there now that we're actively pursuing. So I do think having a presence there, and they can come over to practice if it's open to the public. We can't communicate with them. But I know we'll have some coaches come over and visit with us, so I think it will be a positive for us being in Shreveport.
Coach, how happy were you to hear that Tom Rossley was named the National Quarterback Coach of the Year?
I was real happy. The first thing he says, "Does that mean more money?" And I said, "No, no, it doesn't mean more money. It means higher expectations." But I was pleased with Tom. He and I've been together over 10 years, and his players have always been well prepared. I never worried about that, and he coaches the entire part of the entire person. From his mind to his feet to his heart. I mean, he does the whole gambit. So I'm real pleased that Tom received that award. I'm more pleased that he's working for me.
Coach, you talked a little about the special teams. Looks like I got a couple playmakers there, punting in, the way they return the game.
They might be one of the best and most dangerous teams in regard to special teams because their kicker, their punter, their returners are top of anybody's category. So it's going to be it's a great point mentioned. That will be a tremendous challenge for us because they have no weaknesses in those areas. They do a very, very good job and have excellent talent in the kicking game. So that'll be a tremendous challenge for us.
You talk about your own team, so during this time, how do you work on special teams to make them better? Because you have had some problems there at times.
This time has kind of been like our season, kind of like in the Texas game where, we're covering the kickoffs, doing a good job of containing, and then we lose one that was very costly. But during the course of these practices, we've punted and kicked every single practice opportunity. We've worked on technique and fundamentals, and that's about all you can do right now.
Coach, is Dustin Harris 100%, and how big is he of a punt return game in his defense?
We're going to continue. I thought Jordan Pugh's probably the most secure in catching the punts, but we're going to continue to work with a number of guys back there and see who gives us the best opportunity to win this football game. But certainly Dustin should be healthy at that point to be able to give us an opportunity to take a look at him as well, and we have.
Mike, do you consider this the end of this last season or the beginning of next season?
Depends on how it ends up, I guess, is what But I think this is a little bit of both. I think this game can certainly springboard you into a great spring and fall, and at the same time, if you don't play well, you dissect it to the nth degree. So Either way, you know, it's a good test for us. There's no question about that.
It's such a young team. I know these extra practices you've had are valuable. Is the system a little bit messed up, and then it seems like the teams that could really use the extra practices don't get it? But, you know, like last year, for instance, for y'all. Can you speak to that?
You know, I thought about that last year, actually, and the exact same point. You know, it seemed like it was an unfair advantage, you know, in everything that we do, in whether it's in the college football or the National Football League, you're always trying to bring about parity, and I don't think this in particular is one of those rules that allows for that, you know. But last year I certainly felt like, you know, if you could have taken advantage of, you know, an extra 2 weeks or so many days, you know, the irony is there's really no regulations in this time of year. I mean, you can practice, there's no hour limitation, there's no daily limitation, it's what you want to do. So of all the things that are relegated to us, this part of the season really isn't a whole lot of rules and regulations.
Do you have an opportunity to enjoy this? The bowl experience, do you have a chance to get to enjoy it?
Not yet. You know, we're going to get all our work done. All our game plans are pretty much done at this point, and our practice plans are going to be laid out before we get out there. So it'll, you know, there's a number of bowl functions, and my family's going to go. So we'll take advantage of that. But you know, I get kind of, I have a tendency to, as my wife says, to have kind of a one-dimensional focus when I get ready to play a game. So I'm sure we'll be doing something. I'll be thinking about something else and get in trouble for that. But that's par for the course for me. So,
assuming Dustin is back, Dustin Harris, is it safe to assume he'll be starting at cornerback if he's healthy?
Well, we're going to continue to evaluate that this week and next week, and we'll make that decision once we get up there. But everybody's getting reps as of right now.
Couple more?
You know, one thing you might want to just know about is, you know, we had 7 guys. I think there's a thing I'm really proud of, and it's really a credit to our academic center and what we're able to do with kids. We had 7 kids graduating this weekend, which adds to another 7 that have already graduated. So, and that's really why we're here and what we're supposed to be doing. And shouldn't have to pat yourself on the back for graduating, guys, but it is kind of nice that, you know, we have, I think, 14 graduates that we playing on the sidelines in this game up in Shreveport, and that's pretty neat. So, and truthfully, that's what it's all about. So, hopefully, those graduates play their butts off.
If you see yourself down 3 assistants, is that really, do you feel a huge advantage? You know, I mean, he had to do what he had to do, and you hear his quotes, but if you're down 3 assistants, is that a real handicap at this time?
You know, I always get nervous when people suggest, you know, someone's maybe backed into a corner, back to the wall, because I think people rise to those challenges, particularly good quality people. So, no, I think you make do with what you have. I'm sure it's not the perfect situation, but I'm sure that the Coach Rick has a plan for that.
Do you anticipate all your coaches to be back, Mike, in the spring?
At the end of every season, after our last ball game, I sit down with them and we go through an evaluation process. So we'll do that once this season's over with.
Jordan Pugh told us earlier that he was the first on his mother's side to graduate. Is he a perfect example of what you're talking about in terms of your graduates and the kind of guy he is?
Yeah, you know, he's, you know, I think they're all different in their own ways. You know, Kevin Matthews, you know, is here with his parents today. He's going to miss, I think, part of practice today. We have Cody Byer, Bryson, Alton Dixon's graduating today, which at one point, you know, we were really struggling there, and God bless him for getting that done. He promised his grandma he would do that. Ryan O'Brien, Jordan Pugh, DeMario Thompson, all these guys are getting their degrees this weekend. So it's kind of neat, and they're all, Jordan Pugh's special in his way, but each guy is special in his own way.